Mr. Murphy,
Professor Jeff.
it's a me, Mario.
It's a you. Man, you need to shave that beard and just let that mustache grow all bushy. That would be awesome.
I've done it before. It is not a good look. People look at me and it's three things pop into their head: cop, child molester, or porn star. And usually it's one of the first two. So,
oh yeah, because the third one's the one you really want.
Exactly.
But why can't you be all three? You don't have to pick.
A cop, child molesting porn star. This one will go as Halloween this year. But anyway, enough about my facial hair. Let's talk about Mario Kart 7.
Yes.
Game so nice they had to put a number on it for the first time.
Yeah. I guess they ran out of. They're like, well, where are we going to put super in the description here? So it's the seventh one, which I guess makes sense. They usually. I guess they've released one since, 94, 93, something like that? One for every console since the Super Nintendo?
Yeah. I personally, I've only played the first one. So
Really?
that's the one I always remember. I think I played a little bit of Double Dash, and I went, yep, that's kart racing all right. But that one had really more of a focus on kind of the two-player thing, and never really got into it super hard. But I remember seeing the trailer for this one, and it looked weird.
It's got a couple of innovations, but it's really still a Mario Kart game. They're very much of the mind of, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Mm-hmm. But I have played every Mario Kart game since its inception, and played it quite a bit. Mm-hmm. And I practically majored in it in college.
Like you go into the regional tournaments, doing bets in the back of the bar, like $20 per game.
Okay, I'll tell you. I went to this classic video game expo a couple of years ago, mm-hmm. and there was this dude there named Dr. Mario Kart.
That's pretty good.
That's what he called himself. He was this little tiny Asian dude with a long ponytail, and he was playing Super Mario Kart Battle Mode. And if you beat this little weirdo savant, best of 10 in Battle Mode, mm-hmm. he would give you $1,000.
Did he have the $1,000 in a case, under a glass little warmer thing on one side so you could see it?
Right. No, he had it in his Pokemon backpack. But no, he was a grown dude, he was early 20s or something like that. But people were coming at him all day in battle mode on Super Mario Kart, and they just kept going and going and going. And he was an animal. He was a fucking animal. And I mean, he was just hundreds of people. I was looking at the list because he kept a little clipboard of all the people he'd played and the record. No one beat him on any of the matches.
Wow.
On any of them.
Now, wait, when was this? How long ago was this?
This was it's probably 4 years ago.
And this was Super Nintendo Mario Kart?
Yeah, the original Super Nintendo Mario Kart. They had several iterations since then. I mean, the GameCube one was out at that point, and probably the Wii one. I can't recall exactly. But yeah, this guy, he just sat there all day long. He probably was sitting there pissing himself, and the guy was good. He was really good. I beat him twice.
Yeah? Was that out of 5, matches out of 5?
Out of 10.
Out of 10. Okay, all right.
Yeah. I was the only one that had beaten him for a match up until, somebody, after I came along, somebody might have played, but I looked over his history. I was the only one. So yeah, battle mode's my thing. And racing's okay, because the thing with the Mario Kart games that you have to understand is that it's got this rubber band AI, mm-hmm. which is fucking maddening. It's imagine if you're in the Olympics and you are the best at the 200-meter dash or whatever the hell they run in the Olympics. I don't know. You're the best in the world. Mm-hmm. But if you get too far ahead, suddenly someone rushes out from the side and kicks you right in the nuts, giving everybody else a chance to catch up.
I'm just imagining the Olympics with on the 200-meter dash, some guy with the blue shell rotating around him. Everybody's just oh, god damn that motherfucker.
Yes, it is. That's what Mario Kart is. So it's the farther you get ahead of everyone, the more goodies, as far as that evil blue shell, which you can't dodge.
Yeah.
That the nuke option, or the lightning bolt where it shrinks everyone or whatever. the more it gives those to the people who are in last. So it is socialist video gaming at its worst. God damn it, that just occurred to me. Fucking Obama, man, he did this. Ruined my Mario Kart. No, it's always been like that, really. But it seems like it's been getting worse as generations go on.
I heard some complaints about that on the Wii version, especially, that it was just really unforgiving about, no matter how much of a lead you got, that you could really get unseated at a moment's notice.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I will sit there and have a good, strong, half a lap above everyone else. And all of a sudden I get a blue shell, and then I get hit by lightning, and then red shells hit me. And it's just like, I was really expecting for Wario and Waluigi and that bitch Peach to pull over, jump out of their carts as I was suffering there, and just start kicking the shit out of me. I mean, it is that punishing if you're doing well. So yeah, it's a goddamn commie game. That said, I really like it. Okay. Aside from that,
well, tell our listeners a little bit. It's kind of, we're coming in a little bit late with this one, but what's new in Super Mario Kart 7?
Well, of course, they've got a bunch of tracks, and Mario Kart has always typically balanced a bunch of new tracks with rehashes of the old tracks. There are 32, and you unlock them. There's Star Cup and Flower Cup and blah, 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 just like the last ones. They bring back the coins in this one.
Okay.
Because the coins first appeared in the first one, and then I think they've come and gone since, if I'm not mistaken. But the more coins you get, and you get up to 10, it maxes out your top speed. But if you hit something or go off the road into a hazard or whatever, you lose a couple of coins.
All right.
And then you pick them up as you go along. There are a couple of new weapons. You can get the Fire Flower, the iconic Mario Fire Flower.
What does that
which
do?
Strangely works underwater, believe it or not. But I'm not going to start questioning the physics of Mario Kart now, because there lies madness.
Dude, seriously, enough about this. Tell me about the hang gliders and the submarines. That's what I really want to know about. How does that shit work?
Yeah, hang gliders and submarines. Yeah, they don't do much, honestly.
Well, that's what I was curious about, because when I saw some of the videos for it, everybody was talking about, you can go underwater, blah, blah, blah. But it looked like it was just another part of the track. I mean, can you,
exactly.
Just veer off one side, go underwater James Bond style, cut across the entire track and win? Or
Yeah, I was trying to tell, and so I'm just going to go ahead and say no, there's not. But when you're underwater, it's really difficult to tell if the mechanics are any different. Mm-hmm. It just looks like you're on the track, except you happen to be underwater. So it's kind of pointless in that respect.
Yeah. What about in the air? Can you do a flip, shoot a missile, something?
Well, the hang gliders, yeah. I mean, you can shoot your shells like missiles and stuff like that. But the cool thing with the hang gliders is it really does feel different, and you can find different routes and shortcuts and stuff like that. Because there's always every few tracks, there's this one just totally badass shortcut that if you screw it up, you're fucked.
Right.
You're just totally screwed. But if you get it right, you're probably going to win. And the hang glider lets you, find some really neat ones and stuff like that. That was good. They don't use it enough, though. And it's really just, rather than, turning it into an airplane or something like that, it's really just a long, extended jump, And it's cool when you're doing it, but they just didn't use it enough on any of the tracks.
Okay. Now, I read in an article about it that said that you can actually turn the entire 3DS back and forth to drive your car instead of using the directional pad. Did you try that?
Yeah, it's called a stupid goddamn idea mode.
Well, I was wondering first of all, did you try that? And second of all, did you have the 3D turned all the way up when you tried it? And third, did you get whiplash trying to swing your head back and forth when you were doing it?
Oh, yeah. It's insane. It's just, you're holding this little screen in your hand, and you know how directionally sensitive the 3D is on the 3DS. Mm. I mean, you tilt it just a couple of millimeters in the wrong direction, and it goes all wonky.
Yeah.
Try using the thing as a steering wheel.
Well, that actually is a good question. How is the 3D? I mean, I know that in some games it's a little overbearing if you turn it all the way up. I mean, does it add? Do you feel like it adds anything to the experience?
It's good, but it doesn't add much. It's not as I don't think it was as effective as, say, Super Mario Land 3D.
Okay.
It's cool. It looks neat, but really it doesn't add all that much. And again, with good 3D, if it's good enough, after a while, you stop noticing it. And if it's bad, you just turn it off.
Yeah.
So, it was decent, but I just didn't really get anything from it.
Okay.
Not like Super Mario Land 3D, where it really kind of enriched the experience and made you want to puke on yourself on certain scenes, on certain levels.
I have yet to play a 3DS game that didn't make me want to vomit on myself when I turned that little slider on.
Yeah. But this is fun, and it's got the battle mode, and it's got the coin collector mode, which
What's
is,
that?
Everybody racing around as the clock ticks, and whoever has the most coins at the end wins, and you can take the other person's coins and everything. So, and you've got 8-player co-op multiplayer.
Have you played it?
Cool.
Did you play it online? Can you play it online?
I did.
Do you still? I never actually got a chance to check it out. But does the 3DS still use those friend codes, or can you just go and browse for? But can you? Do you have to have those to play multiplayer, or can you just go browse for a game and play with random child molesters?
I didn't do that. I just did the friend code.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Here's the thing. Mario Kart is really starting to. This is the first time I've ever said this. I'm starting to get tired of it.
So they need something new.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. It maybe they don't need anything new, because I'm sure if they changed it too much, then I'd get pissed off.
It's the gamer's dilemma.
Yeah, it's just like with your favorite band. It's like, well, this album sounds just like the last one, but if it doesn't, you're like, well, shit, they changed up their sound, and I like their old sound. That's what Mario Kart is. I mean, they're adding little tweaks, because in this one you can outfit like different unlockables, different carts which handle differently or go faster. Different wheels, different gliders, which all have marginal effects. And if you're playing it a lot, you'll really start to see the difference. Some of them turn more quickly, some of them have a higher top speed, some of them take off more quickly. That kind of thing. So you can tweak it and everything, and that's kind of fun. So, I mean, it's a great Mario Kart game, but it's just not different enough. And my big thing is, in spite of the fact that there's multiplayer stuff going on, Mario Kart is at its best when you've got a bunch of people screaming like rabid monkeys in front of their television when it's split screen. And you can't get that experience on the DS.
So you're saying that when you scream into the mic on the 3DS, the other person doesn't hear it?
No. If that were the case, I think I would have made my 3DS start crying, because I was coming up with some very colorful invectives. Especially when you get hit by a blue shell, there are profanities that I came up with that I need to trademark.
Start speaking in tongues, just a religious experience of profanity.
Exactly. It was like tongues, but all cursing. It was magical. My 3DS would have just started weeping if it could understand. But yeah, that's the thing. It's great, but Mario Kart is best when you're racing and you pull off that last second win against your friends who are all standing next to you in the room. And everyone's screaming at the top of their lungs, and that is pure Mario Kart right there. And you just can't get it on a portable system like that. Not quite as good. I guess you could replicate it, but then someone ends up with a 3DS embedded in the back of their skull or something.
Well, I think we're kind of coming down to it here. I did want to ask you. I was looking at some information about the game, and I saw that there's a new character, Metal Mario.
Yeah, remember Metal Mario from N64?
No.
When he jumps into the pool and he looks like the T-1000 on Super Mario 64?
Okay.
And when he runs, he goes ding, 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 ding. Yeah, he's one of the characters. They're always throwing shit in there. I didn't even get to unlock him, unfortunately.
Fair enough.
But yeah, they've added him and Wiggler, whoever the hell that is. I think 4 new characters. There are actually less characters on this one than there are on the Wii, which is kind of a bummer. But yeah, not a big deal, because you don't have to hear all their weird half languages and gibberish and shit.
Do they not speak in English?
Yeah, they do, but a lot of them just make noises.
Okay.
Just little, Peach's cute little oofs and ahs and everything. That shit gets old. Women shouldn't be driving anyway.
Before we go to a verdict, is there anything else that you want to mention about it?
Not that I can think of. That's pretty straightforward. I mean, if you like Mario Kart, you're going to like this game. Mm-hmm. It really adheres to the formula and tweaks it just a little bit. They don't deviate from it all that much. It's fun, but again, rubber band AI and you really need to play it in a room full of friends. So yeah, I would give it. I mean, it's great. I'd give it full price because I love Mario Kart, and yeah, this is more of the same.
Okay. Well, before we go, I wanted to ask you real fast. We had you, in 2011, we had you review Forza Motorsport 4, and it was not, shall we say, a pleasant experience. I'm really curious, though, to know just what it is about Mario Kart, because they're both racing games. What is it that makes Mario Kart so much better than Forza Motorsport?
Okay. To me, let's put it this way. You've got, the redheaded chick from Mad Men. What's her? Christina Hendricks.
Yes.
And then you have Rosie O'Donnell. They're both women.
Yes.
That's where the similarities end. So yeah, they're both racing games. That's where the similarities end.
Fair enough.